All right, good morning once again. Welcome to Teach It and See Home. So, like you rightly confirmed, we stopped at Python lists, so which means that we are still on the advanced data structure in Python. And I told us that the advanced data structure or data types in Python, they are mainly used for holding, or they are data structure that can hold multiple values. They are data structure that can hold multiple values, unlike the variable that holds only single value. So we started looking at this set of data sets, or data type rather. So we have covered lists, and we have also looked at different functions that can be used to update, modify our Python list data structure. So we're going to start with, remember I mentioned about 4 of them that very day. We have Python lists as part of the advanced data structure in Python. We have lists, we have a dictionary, we have a tuple, and then we have a set. So in this section, let's see how far we can go. We might just conclude 2 of them or even 3 of them. So let's start with Python dictionary. Python dictionary. Python dictionary. So how do we define dictionary? So Python dictionary is another data structure. Is another data structure, or is a data structure in Python. In Python that allow you to create, the keyword is what? Key and value pairs. That allows you to create key and value pairs, which means what? 2 in 1. So we are going to see the difference between using Python dictionary to hold values and Python lists. From the definition alone, lists can hold multiple values, but does not have key and value structure. It can only hold values. So that was why when we wanted to call out specific value from a list, we use the index method, because then we understand that a collection of information in an array has numerical what? Positioning. But in the case of dictionary, we can't select value with what? Index number, because dictionary has a key. So instead of you selecting value with index, we will be using the key to access the value. So it's just like a collection of variables and values in one container. So we can define Python dictionary as a collection of variables. Logically, we can say it's a collection of variables with what? Values. So in this case now, the variable names are the key, while the value you are storing in the variable are the values. So I'm only trying to explain why we said our Python dictionary is a key value pair. That is what? 2 in 1. So let's quickly look at the structure. What is the structure? The structure or syntax. So how do we declare Python dictionary? Now, from that definition, we start with the name of the dictionary. Let's say D1 is the name of my dictionary. Now, dictionary has a bracket that it uses, just like list uses a square bracket. For dictionary, we are going to use the coiling brace bracket. So once you have named the dictionary, the next thing is for you to open the bracket, which is this bracket. Take note of the differences in the bracket each of these four data structure uses, but there's not that they can confuse you. So, like I said, this is like the key one. Now, the separation between the key and the value is colon. So I will just say this is what value. I'm only trying to define the structure first. So this is what value one. Value one. So now if I want to have another key, I'll put a comma and then second key. So this can be key 2. And then remember what separates the key and the value is colon. Then now, if the key is a string, that is when you put it in quotes. If the value is a string. So, but with the example, you understand it better. Let me just go this way first. So this is like value what 2, and so on. So which means that after you have declared the key, separate it with column, and then the value, you add a comma, and then you define the next key. All right, so let's look at some of the characteristics of or attributes of Python list before we look at the real example. So let me just comment this temporarily for now. Make sure you are writing down. Let's look at some Python dictionary attributes. Some Python dictionary attributes. So what do we mean by attribute? Attribute means what provide additional information about an element or the subject or the object. So in this case, where we say some attribute, we want to look at how the dictionary behave. Yes, both of them holds value, multiple value. List can hold multiple value. Dictionary can also hold multiple value. But between each of these 4 types of Python advanced data structure, they have their unique attributes, their unique characteristics. There are modes of which they hold data. So for example, for Python dictionary, the first one is mutable. The first one is what? Dictionary is what? Mutable. Dictionary, hope you can hear me, please. Dictionary is what? Mutable. So what does that word mutable means? It means you can change. This is actually the point I want to make. It means you can change. So we need to bear this at the back of our mind as we work with these different 4 data structure. You can change. It means you can add or even remove item. That is what makes it what? Mutable. So which means that if I've created a dictionary, for example, a dictionary for my name, for holding my name, I can change my mind and modify it to something else, or I will remove it. But that is not allowed when you are working with tuple. once it is created. Tuple is what? Immutable. So I just want us, because as a student, maybe in your objective, whatever, they can ask all this kind of question. So you should know that dictionary is mutable, which means you can change, you can add, you can even remove value. All right, so another key attribute of it outside this is dictionary is unordered. Unordered is what? Unordered. What do we mean by unordered? Which means that items are not stored in a fixed position. That is what it means. Items are not, I hope you are taking note too. Items are not stored in a fixed position. That's what we are saying. But that is not the attribute of tuple. Once you create a value, that particular memory allocation to that value, another value cannot use it. That's why we say that tuple values are fixed once you create them. And in programming, there are better scenarios where you use that kind of concept. Probably you don't want people to tamper with things, and the application is high, sensible what application. And you don't want people, maybe things are just fixed to avoid people tampering with what? Certain settings. So you use the concept of what? The one that supports it, which is tuple. But if you are using lists and you are using dictionary, just know that they are what? Mutable. You can change, you can add. Their memory value, their memory allocation can be reallocated to another value. So the next one is, let me take it down so that you can see it. The next attribute before we go for the application is a key value, which I've already explained to us somehow. The key values, the key value pairs that I mentioned earlier on. So the key value pairs mean data are stored or data is stored like, let me put it, data is stored like key, like I've just illustrated, key and value. So let me know if you are hearing me. I hope you are following. Please let me confirm if you are following. I don't know why I'm having issue with you talking back.
I said yes. I don't know if the mic is not open.
I think so. Yes. Sometimes I hardly hear you. Okay, so let's look at an example. With all that we have explained, let's make it a task. And what is the task? Create Python Dictionary to store my biodata. So my biodata will be my name. That's my first name, my middle name, my last name, my state, my age. All of these, I want to store them in a Python dictionary. So, like I told us, we'll start with the naming of what? The dictionary. So I will name it my underscore biodata. Biodata, let me write that together. It's equals to, remember the type of bracket we are using. Then my biodata, I'm going to be breaking them into key and value. So the first one is my first name. So I'll say first, sorry, I need to put it in a string. I'll say first, then probably underscore, name, I'm using camel case, that is the key. Then the value is still a string, so I'll put it in string. First name is Aguero. So that is just one, then comma, then the second key, which is my middle name. Let's say middle name. Let me join them together. Middle name. And then the value is still a string, so I'm still going to put it in quotes. Middle name, hello. Then my age. The key for my age is age. And the value for my age is, let's say, 90. Now we are still operating that same variable concept. If you are storing an integer or a number, you don't need to quote it. Then let me add one more, city. The city I am from. Let's say Asaba. So let's assume that I have all this. So this is my dictionary. So if I run the code, let me see. So I will have some code that I've not. Let me just take them up to avoid distracting us now. So let me run it. So you see that you get no value outputted. Why? Because we have to print the dictionary. Remember our print command. My bio data, it's already a keyword. And then execute your code again. And then we have all the values outputted. I hope that is clear. I will allow you to just practice, but since your ID is not working. So probably if you are unable to solve that ID stuff, you may have to use Google Colab. You know of Google Colab? Are you aware of Google Colab? I can hear you. Okay, I can hear you. So let's look at, so how do we assess dictionary value? Because right now, what we actually did here is assessing all the value. So if I want to assess certain value within the dictionary, how do I assess it? So that takes us to how to assess dictionary value. How to assess dictionary value. Just a minute. Okay, so I was talking about how to assess dictionary value. Now, the first one I executed, I actually assessed the whole values. So what we are going to look at, how do we assess a particular value using the key concepts like I just explained to us. So for example, if I want to assess the, let's say, let me make it with what? The key. Let's say with the key, so I will know specifically which method. So I have to call the name of the dictionary. Let's say what? D1. And then square brackets. Square bracket. Then I have to call the name of the key. So for example, I want to print out my first name. So I will simply access my first name with the key. The key is the first name. So I'll take this and put it in these square brackets with string. So now I have to print it. I have to print it. Because if I run it now, you see that what we have an error. So now, even we are not supposed to have this error. I hope what error is this saying? See, the one is not defined. Yes, because the one is not the name of my dictionary. Sorry. My dictionary name is what? My biodata. That is from biodata dictionary. I want to access what? First name. So let me run it. Okay, so what is remaining just for me to print it? So which means that I can nest the whole of this. I can nest the whole of this in my print command so I can get it out. So I could just close it up here. So if I run it, that is going to bring out or return what? One of my name, which is the first name. So the same thing if I want to return middle name, I'll just use the key. That is the advantage of a dictionary. You can use the key to access the value. I hope that is clear.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's look at how to modify dictionary, because I told us that what is mutable. So now we have created a dictionary and we want to make some changes. Let's see how possible that is. How to modify dictionary. How to modify dictionary. So now what you are going to do, let's assume that I want to change Aguero to Prosper. Let's assume in this dictionary, I want to change it to Prosper without me manually tracing where I created it and changing it. So the syntax for doing that is, or that falls under modifying dictionary. So you're going to start by calling the name of that dictionary. All right, and then you call the key. You call this key in the square bracket, just like we just did now. You call the key of the particular value you want to change. So I want to change, my first name. So let me take the key only. Take the key. Then after that, you will now equate it with another, the word that will replace that, and that one wouldn't be in the square bracket. So you can just put it in a string. So I'm changing my first name, which is Aguero, to Prosper. So now I have to run it. So if I run it, yeah, so that has been implemented. Now, if I want to see it, let me take this one out temporarily. If I want to see what I just did now, I have to reprint this particular information. So I can come here and say, okay, print the dictionary again, so that I will know if the update has taken place. So I'm printing my biodata again. Then if I run it, so let's see if I've been able to change that. You can see that what I have been able to modify that. So I have the first one, and then this is the one we just changed. So that is how to modify dictionary value. Now let's look at how to add new value, because these are the things we mentioned that makes this what? Mutable. I hope you are still following, sir. So how to add new value. Now, always remember that dictionary is a value pair, it's a key value pair, which means if you are adding a value, it comes with creating its key before the value. Victor, are you still with me? So the syntax is that I'm going to start by calling the dictionary that I want to what? Add additional value to. Then I will use the square bracket again. All right, the square bracket. This time around, I am defining the new key. So in this case, my new key is going to be address. So I want to add address to my biodata. So I'll say, okay, address. Then remember that it is a key value pair. So that is just the key. That is just the key. So the next thing is I will now pass in the value. The value is, let's say what, the value is Asaba Delta State. Asaba Delta State, for example. All right, I hope you are following. So what are we doing? Good, we are adding. So you have to define the what? The key and then followed by the value. So let's run it and see if we have, okay, we have error here. So what error is saying? Key value, say slice this, none. So what is our key is this, and then the value is this. So I'm just looking at, okay. Okay, so what we are going to do is this, in this case, I think let's do it this way. Let's equate it. Let's equate it. So the syntax is wrong. So after the key, we have to put it equals to, then just like what we did when we were changing. Together we are introducing a new one and we are passing a value to it, which is said as server delta state. As server delta state. Okay, now we run it. Good. Now, for us to see if this particular value has been added, we have to print again. So let's print it again and see. Print my biodata. Print my biodata. And then you can see, let's check if it has been added. So it has been added. Hope you are with me. Okay, so let's look at how to add multiple items to dictionary. All this we are trying to prove that dictionary is what? Immutable what? Data structure. How to add multiple values to Python dictionary. So to do this, what we are going to do is we call back the dictionary name, and then select the square bracket, select the square bracket. Then let's say for the name dictionary, I want to add maybe my current name right now is Prosper. So I want the name to be Prosper, maybe Jude. I want multiple value to be assigned to that particular key. So I'm going to select, let's say, I selected it right. So I'm going to select, let's see what, first name. Let me copy it from here. Control C. I hope you are still following. Control C. And then I'll put a comma. After adding a comma, so I'll just call another value I want to give to it. So let's say Jude. I can just use comma. Now, the next thing is for me to print again and see if the value, but let me just execute first and see if there's no error. I'm not sure if this error was the previous one. I think that was the previous one, but let me just try and print again and see. Print my biodata. Print my biodata. I don't know if I got, let me see. Yes, I think Okay, any difference? What was there before? We are trying to print the multiple value, right? So it didn't print because we're supposed to have seen Jude. Okay, so I think our syntax is wrong. Our syntax is wrong. So this is what we are going to do. Let's follow that first structure. So let's equate it to, then I'll select square brackets and define the values. So let's say the first value, like I wanted to, we have Prosper there already. So the first value, let's say Jude. Then I'll just use a comma, another value, let's say Aguero. Okay, so let's see if this works. Good. I think this has worked. So now let's print it. Let's print my biodata again. Let's print my biodata again. Biodata. So if I print, let's see if we have it. Good. So you can see that one key, we have succeeded giving it what? 2 values. So we can. Now, the idea is that you can say, okay, depending on the kind of content you are actually capturing with your dictionary. So I can expand it in a way that I can create a dictionary that one key is holding all the information about a person. Maybe the key would have be what? Maybe someone's name, and I'll declare all the information that are related to that person. So that is when you are going to probably what? Use this concept. So finally, before we look at how to mesh dictionary, is how to check dictionary functions. How to check. I think I also exposed us to this when we were in list. Victor, are you with me? Let's see, we are sleeping there. How to check. How to check. Because that's what I like practicing. I know that your ID is not permitting you. How to check Python dictionary functions. How to check Python dictionary functions. So, for example, I want to know functions that are related to dictionary, just like what I showed you in lists, to look at functions that are related to dictionary. So I can just simply type print and then dir, which means directory, then pass in the dict inside, and then you print it. So let's say this will automatically print all the possible functions. You can see that all the functions that can be used to manipulate dictionary. So you can take your time out if you want to go further to master them. Pop, we have all these things. They are function, update, value. They are functions that are associated with the Python dictionary. So that will now take us to how to merge. So there are times that merging two or more dictionary might be needed. That is, you are collapsing two or more what? Dictionary value to become a new dictionary. So I will just use, create another one. So let's say we have the 2 as our second dictionary. And then this is going to be a dictionary of colors. So let me just capture, let's see what city is the first key. City is the first key. Then the value of that, let's say Lagos. And the second key is Lagos. What will I put here now? Lagos. Okay, let me just say country. We have it. Country is Nigeria. Lagos is located in Nigeria. Now, the tree is the tree is let's say the first key is name. First key is name, and the name, let's say this is about someone. The name is Ojo. Then comma. The second key is let's say state. Second key, let's say state. And the state is let's say data. So just for an illustration, you see here. So now we are merging them together. So merging them together, you are going to use one of the function we saw now, as I showed us Python dictionary function, which is update. So it's update you are going to use to add these two dictionary. So you are going to use one to update the other one, and then that becomes just like you are collapsing one into the other. So the one that is joining the other one, you communicate it in your syntax. So for example, if I come here and say what? D2 dot update, D2 what? Dot update. Which are you following? D2 dot what? Update. And I say what? D3. Can you explain what that will mean? What kind
Second,
of,
what do you call it? Second dictionary.
yeah, we absorb what? The values of what? The third dictionary. That means what? The whole value in the third dictionary are collapsing into what?
One.
But into one, which is what? So which of the dictionary we are to print if you want to see them? Want to see the outcome, which of the dictionary we are to print?
Uh,
Which of them we are to print?
I'm not sure.
We are to print which dictionary? We want to see the collapsed version. Which one we are to print? I'm asking. We are printing what? Dictionary 2. Because you are saying that dictionary 3 is coming to join what? So you can't print 3. You are printing what? 3. So now let us run it and see. So let's check what we have here now. What do we have? City. This are supposed to have, let's see whether all the values are together. Yes, they are together, as you can see. And the order follow according to how you syntax it. Because from you say that what? You should have the value of dictionary 2 first, then before dictionary 3 update it. So that is why you can see this is the value of what? The dictionary 2, while this is the value of what? Dictionary 3. That is how you can merge a dictionary. I hope that is clear. Is that clear? I will just use one. I don't think it's like you are sleeping on. That is one of the functions we just saw now. Update. Look at it here. We saw update. So you can see how I use it. So I'm still going to use another function there, which is that will take us to how to delete. How to delete. How to delete dictionary. How to delete dictionary. So let's say I don't want the dictionary anymore. How do I clear it? How do I clear it? So if I want to clear the dictionary 2, in this case, so I will just say dictionary 2 dot clear. Dictionary 2 dot clear. All right, so with this, it means all the values in dictionary 2 Clear. When I'm done with this, I'm going to show you how to use Google Colab so that you can practice everything that I've done. You are sleeping over there, or you are just listening, you are not working. So now, if we run this code, and then let's say we have, we want to check whether we have values in dictionary 2, because we just said that dictionary 2 should be cleared. So let me just check again if it's going to output anything. So if we couldn't put anything, then you can see that what it returned an empty what container, which means all the values has been cleared. Right. So the last one before I show you how to use Google Colab for you to practice all this is how to check if value is present or if value exists in dictionary. How to check if value exists in dictionary. How to check if value exists in dictionary. So for example, if I want to check if I have, maybe I have a name, whether name exists with what Ojo, how do we check it in Python? So I will just call the name of that key in bracket like this. So I'm checking name, and then I will say in. That in is a keyword. That is what you want to check whether this exists. Is name in D2? That's what we are checking. We say, okay, is name in D2? So that's exactly what we are checking. So now, if you run it, the result we are supposed to get is what? True or false is in. So let's just print this so that we can output the value. Let's print so that we can see if the value actually what exists. So is A. Okay, don't worry, I'm going to work now. So you can see that what? It return what? It return what? False, which means Python is saying, you are asking Python that, do we have name in what? D2. So if we check our D2, look at our D2 here, there's no name. Now, if I change it to D3, let me check it in D3, whether it's going to output what? True. Is name in. So let's run it. So you see that what? It returns what? True. I hope you are following. So this is where I end the journey of Python Dictionary. We've done a lot around it, both dictionary and
I thought you cleared the D2.
hmm?
Thought you cleared D2.
Yes, I cleared it too. Probably that's why it says that what? In fact,
But you saying true.
you see what? No,
The
now
value
look
is
at
true.
look at it here now. 3. It's D3 that I'm working with now, not D2 again.
Okay.
I removed D2. Okay, so let me show you so you can do that alongside. So open a browser, just open a browser. So going forward, depending on when you will rectify your IDE, you can practice everything we are learning directly in a browser. So just open the browser. So you can be doing that alongside with me, because I'll give you some time to practice what we have done via this platform. Now, once you open your browser, just type what? Google Colab. So long you have to log in with your Gmail. Just type Google Colab. You can always use this browser IDE to practice Python to any level. So just click on welcome to Google Colab. Make sure you are doing that, because I don't know if you were writing down, not I will have said if you share your screen, but I will leave my screen on so that you can look at what you have done. So you now click on new notebook. Having error here. Well, just do that and give me a feedback. Your ones will have opened. Click on new notebook. All those ones are previous work, so I will have just gone in with one. let me just think I should just pick one. So these are some of my previous work. So let me just go in with that and see if that will take me in. By now your own will have opened. Good. So you can write code here. You can write code here. So let me just show you how to use this. So let's say I want to add another cell of code. I'll just click on this. Let's say I create a variable equals to 10, and I want to print the value, just to print S. And then if I run it, it will, you check this place of connection. If you are running for the first time, it takes some time because it's trying to connect to your server. Once it's connected for the first time, you see a kind of a code there. Even though that one will not take time. Good, you can see that it's connected to online server now. So now I've outputted. So I want you in the next few minutes, all that I've explained so far, I want you to execute them using this Google Colab. So I will leave my screen on. Once you need my attention, scroll down, you let me know. You can create different scenarios, not just one. Thank God I use comment to explain each of the tasks. So I think we started from where? Started from here, biodata. Started from here. These are the definitions. So when you are done writing this, let me know. Yes, you can start now. Just share your screen. You stop sharing. From the beginning, have you executed all of them? If you are yet to run the code,
You can see the cannot see the print.
click on that icon and that video icon where you have my biodata. You click on it. I showed you now. And yes, that's where you click to run your code. So you can see that you have a lot of error. Or there are some places where your code were not properly. So scroll down, let's see the whole of the code. I think it is corrected now, right?
Mm.
Scroll down, let me see the end. Or is it the end?
Yeah.
Okay. So we are going to stop here. Your assignment is to research on sets and tuple. So the next class, I will paraphrase on those ones before we move out from data structure. Research, write it down. Research on set and tuple. Research on set and tuple, please. So I'll look at the schedule like I told your mom. I want to see just that those days that you pick, they are days of other people's classes, but I want to see if Friday morning, if I don't know, if the person that's supposed to teach fail, I'll quickly contact you so that we can see meet. Because I don't want the class to be in the evening. You can see the way the network work very well, and that evening is really frustrating. Network in the evening is always bad. So, but just in case I create space on Friday morning, you can be available, right? Just in case I create space. Eh? Is it possible?
Okay.
Okay. So I'll work towards that. If I'm able to succeed, I'll let you know. So, attend to those two assignments, research on Python set and tuple. Write your code as in whatever research you research, make sure you implement them. Then in that next class, once I look at it and I see that you are okay, then we could just move to the next topic. Or if you are not okay, or maybe if I'm not okay with the level of research, if I feel there are still more things you need to understand about the tuple and the set, I will still paraphrase on it. And then you can still take the dictionary again, but you can use you can create dictionary, add this one, create dictionary for products details. Create a dictionary that stores product details. Let's say product name, the price, and some other information. All right. So have a nice day. Please continue to research. When are you people writing this?